afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the forum entitled Cyberbullying. Firstly, let me introduce panel members. The first speaker is Veralyne Peter. The second is Nurfathisya. The third is Najihah, and finally Azreen as the fourth speaker. Without further ado, we shall begin the forum with Veralyne.
Introductions to Cyberbullying. A very good afternoon and thank you, moderator. My name is Veralyne Peter. I would like to begin the forum with the definitions of cyberbullying. Based on our research, there are two definitions of cyberbullying. First of all, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, cyberbullying was first used in 1998. They define it as the electronic posting of mean-spirited messages about a person, such as a student, often done anonymously. But with the passage of time and the internet itself have developed and advanced, so has the definitions of cyberbullying. Secondly, according to an article entitled Cyberbullying, a Modern Form of Bullying, let's talk about this health and social problem. Published by Italian Journal of Pediatrics, article number 14, 2018, cyberbullying or electronic aggression has already been designated as a serious public health threat and elicited warnings to the public from the Centers for Disease and Control Prevention (CDC). The term appear has been coined in 2000 in Canada by the owner of a website dedicated to preventing traditional bullying, face-to-face bullying. Tokunaga defined the phenomenon as any behavior performed through electronic or digital media by individuals or a group that repeatedly communicates hostile or aggressive messages intended to inflict harm or discomfort on others. These definitions clearly emphasize several cyberbullying features: the technology component, the hostile nature of act, the intent to cause suffering, considered by most scholars to be crucial to the definition, and the repetitiveness. On the other hand, common forms of cyberbullying involve mobile phones, such as bullying and intimidating via phone calls and text messages. Picture or video clip bullying, including so-called happy slapping, filmed on mobile camera phone via the internet. Whereas bullying by emails, chat room, through instant messaging and mediums such as website and blogs. Also, according to the Cybersmile Foundations, a multi-award-winning non-profit organization committed to digital well-being and tackling all forms of cyberbullying and abuse online. The common form of cyberbullying are harassment, doxing, spread of an individual personal information without their consent by a person or a group of people, revenge porn, sweating, an act whereby a party calls emergency responder with a claims of emergency event take place at the stated address, and account hacking. Next, to carry on this forum, I would like to continue with the difference between cyberbullying and traditional bullying. Based on the article on the website Psychology Today, entitled Cyberbullying versus Traditional Bullying When Joking Crosses the Line, which was posted on May 14, 2012, by Rachel Quesada-Lomine, PhD. She put forward the contrary between cyberbullying and traditional bullying, as the study is originally to manifest that the method of online bullying is far contrast from traditional schoolyard bullying. In accordance with the American Academy of Pediatrics, it stated that cyberbullying is the most common online risk for all teens and is a peer-to-peer risk. Hence, teenagers may assume that they are joking through posting and texting, but if they are on the victim's side, it may be not at all funny. Thus, if the joking is repetitive, it can be specified as cyberbullying as it is significantly could cross the line into cyberbullying. Therefore, the contrast between the two forms of bullying can be seen as in traditional bullying, whereas it is usually deliberately planned by the bully in planning his or her attack. Meanwhile, most often, cyberbullying is being done in an unplanned and impulsively, in which it is clearly contrast with traditional bullying likelihood and nature. In addition, there are several characteristics of traditional bullying that may be absent in cyberbullying, such as a need for power and control, proactively targeting the victim and aggressions. Also, it is easier for the bully to inflict the harm to their victim through cyberbullying because unlikely this can be done without requiring face-to-face interactions, as they cannot see the person's reactions toward their post or text, which done through the screen. The level of empathy they feel toward the victims reduces. To continue, I would like to expound about the statistic of cyberbullying in Malaysia to further discuss about this issue. According to Malay Mail, Malaysia 6 worst in global cyberbullying ladder survey shows by journalist Jamie Rosley 2019 on 27 October. Among top 28 countries, Malaysia leaps straight to 6th place in a survey determining cyberbullying, reaching the ignoble height on its very first attempt. According to a study by Tech Compare and Review site comparetech.com, 20% of Malaysian parent pool believe their child has been a victim of cyberbullying at least once in 2019. Out of the 28 countries surveyed, Malaysia ranked the second worst in Asia, better than India 37% but worse than Saudi Arabia 19%, China 17%, South Korea 13% and Japan. Furthermore, they add, while better connecting the world and democratizing information, the internet also allowed individuals to hide behind the mask of anonymity. The faceless evil of the internet is growing menace for teens, especially when it comes to cyberbullying. Plus, according to article, cyberbullying happens more often on Instagram, a new survey suggests, by Hilary K. Grigonis on 20th July 2017 on Digital Trend websites. The studies come from one of the largest anti-bullying organizations in the world, Ditch the Label, whereby it conducted a study on more than 10,000 youth in United Kingdom. The study put forward that half of teenagers and young adults aged between 12 to 20 years old have been bullied and 17% experience bullying online. In accordance with the study, over 42% of youth experience cyberbullying on Instagram, while Facebook at 37% following close behind. Next, Snapchat at the third rank with 31%, while the other platform which the survey also conducted, the video-focused social media, YouTube, was only responsible for 10% of the delineate cyberbullying. Meanwhile, other 70% of the survey participations stated that social media platform does not enough to curb cyberbullying.
Thank you to Veralyne. Next, I would like to invite Nurfathisya to give her opinion about the reason of cyberbullying.
Assalamualaikum and thank you to the moderator. I am Nurfathisya Binti Rasid and I will continue the forum with the reasons of cyberbullying. Firstly, people cyberbully because of anonymity approval, which allows the bully to make abuses anonymously. Based on the article Cyberbullying, a review of the literature published on 2013, the authors Charles Nota, Sharon Paget, and Jessica Rodens, students of Jacksonville State University, state similar point of view. The authors mentioned that bullying on the internet provides more advantages to the bullies. This is because the bullies can make anonymous attacks, trigger more psychological trauma, and harass victims at home. Bullies do not worry about their bullying action as they know the authorities are not able to detect or stop the harassment. In addition, according to Gustavo Mesh, a professor of Haifa University, in his article, Parental Mediation, Online Activities and Cyberbullying, Volume 12, Number 4, 2009, he stated that bullying through the screen stopped the bullies from seeing the emotional expression of the victim. Hence, the frequency and bullying power will increase due to the anonymity and lack of interactive interaction. Professor Datin Dr. Mariani Matno, a psychologist at the Department of Educational Psychology and Counseling at University Malaya, tells Bernama News that bullies commonly suffer from psychological problems, lack empathy, and have lower ability of emotional and spiritual quotient. Mariani adds that such bullies are unstable and they regularly express their feelings on social media platforms without empathy. According to her, most cyberbullying cases involve users that want to release their dissatisfactions and displeasure against some individuals. Moreover, cyberbullying also contributes from the trend of making certain posts and videos to go viral. It is because people freely express their opinion to the point of upsetting other people. Next, getting revenge also motivates some individuals to cyberbully. Based on what I have read on article Cyberbullying Across the Lifespan of Education, Issues and Intervention from School to University, published on 2019, written by Dr. Carrie Ann and Professor Helen Cowie. The secrecy of the internet gives apparent power to former cyberbully victims who would then be able to take revenge on the individuals who tortured them without consequences, which would occur in a face-to-face setting. Those victims can resort to acknowledgement of their fates with all the attendant emotional well-being challenges that this involve, or they can take revenge on their abuses by turning out to be cyberbullies themselves. Dr. Vimala Balakrishnan, a lecturer and researcher at Malaya University, in her article Cyberbullying Among Young Adults in Malaysia, The Roles of Gender, Age and Internet Frequency, infers that cyberbully victims have the possibility to become cyberbully themselves. Traditional bully victims may not have the boldness to confront their bullies physically. However, this may not be the situation with cyberbully victims. Being victims of the abuse in day-to-day lives make them think cyberbullying other people is only something that is natural, as some people deserve to be harassed. Dish the Label is an anti-bullying charity, conducted a survey and found that victims of cyberbullying are almost 2 times as likely to bully other people. Dr. Liam Hackett, CEO of the company, says that the society needs to know that the perpetrators frequently have issues at home and other things that are going on their minds. It's much easier for them to bully online than face-to-face, as the abusers do not have to see the victim's emotional expression. In addition, cyberbullying also arises from broken relationships. According to American Sociological Association, youth cyberbullying is more likely to happen between current or former friends and their teen partner than it is likely to happen between someone's child and a stranger. A study conducted in 2011 to nearly 800 8 to 12th grade students at a public school in a suburb area of New York City shows that 2.3% of the students have been both victims and bullies. Diane Firmly, the lead author of the study and a professor, said that a frequent worry regarding cyberbullying is that strangers can attack someone, but there are evidence that shows significant risks associated with close connection. A survey conducted in 2018 by Dish the Label to 9,150 people aged 12 to 20 has shown that 5% of the respondents has been cyberbullied constantly. 29% respondents were bullied by an enemy and 10% were bullied by ex-romantic partner. I read an article, Cyberbullying, Resources for Intervention and Prevention by Charles Nota, Jessica Warden, and Sharon Paget, who believe that typical teen problems such as relationship issues, breakups, and envy are taking place in a far more dangerous situation. Students usually lack the ethical compass or leadership skills to control and manage themselves, are increasingly associating with peers in this unmanaged and unsupervised setting.
Thank you to Nurfathisya. Next, I would like to invite Najihah to give her opinion about the impact of cyberbullying.
Thank you to my friends and the moderator. I am Nurul Najihah Binti Ismail, and I will continue the forum with the impacts of cyberbullying. There are three impacts of cyberbullying, which are physical and emotional aspect, long-term effect, and self-esteem. Firstly, the impact can be in physical and emotional aspect. According to Dennis Mann 2010, who is a freelance health writer in New York, with an article entitled Emotional Troubles for Cyberbullies and Victims, she says victims of bullying can have lasting emotional, concentration, and behavioral problems. These problems can bleed into their real lives as they find too much difficulty in getting along with many others. They face issues of confidence, and at a younger age, they are more likely to misuse alcohol or drugs. She also says that victims of cyberbullying can build negative social stigma, and their peers can feel damaging shame. While still not physically assaulted, victims of cyberbullying still develop psychological symptoms. These teens were also more likely to suffer recurrent headache, constant pain in the stomach, and sleeping disturbances. As a result, 64% of people who have been cyberbullied claims it affects their potential to understand and feel safe while at school in cyberbullying data on 2016 published according to the Justin W. Patching 2016, which is a professor of criminal justice. Next, the impacts of cyberbullying can be in long-term effect. Based on the article entitled The Impact of Cyberbullying, written by Gabe Duverge, which is on 2015, victims of bullying may suffer because of cyberbullying long after it ends. This can trigger anxiety, chronic fatigue, and poor performance either in work or at school. Depression is not unusual, with some victims feeling a normal sense of hopelessness and usefulness approximately their lives. Unfortunately, the long time period effects of cyberbullying can emerge as life-threatening issues. Nearly 20% of cyberbullying victims report having suicidal thoughts, according to the Cyberbullying Research Center. This can be seen where the World Health Organization (WHO) has recorded suicide as the second one main motive of death among youth elderly between 15 and 19 years old. As well as that, Health Director General Datuk Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said that National Health and Morbidity Survey (NHMS) key findings from the Adolescent Health and Nutrition Surveys 2017 show the suicidal thoughts among Malaysian adolescents escalated from 7.9% in 2012 to 10% in 2017. Likewise, suicidal intention increased from 6.4% to 7.3% in the same period, while suicidal attempts grew from 6.8% to 6.9%. Last but not least, the impact of cyberbullying can affect one's self-esteem. According to Alex Chalk, a member of the Criminal Bar Association, with a report entitled Safety Net: Cyberbullying's Impact on Young People's Mental Health. He says getting exposed to nasty comments or other types of online harassment may also strengthen the prejudiced views that children and youth hold about themselves, their lives, and their future. Young people at the evidence session told how experiencing online bullying and harassment caused them to be more concerned about what content was posted about them online and could result in them tracking social media extra frequently and intensively. For instance, continuous checking of messages, likes, and refreshing streams of content can also play a role in increasing feelings of anxiety and lowering self-esteem that may lead to addictive or obsessive beliefs and action. He also says those who had not participated while observing online bullying claimed in the evidence session that it had no longer made them experience good about themselves.
Thank you to Nur Najihah. Next, I would like to invite Azreen to give her opinion on how to overcome cyberbullying.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon for all. First and foremost, thank you to the moderator. My name is Nur Azreen Binti Kamis. We have listened amazing explanations about introduction, reasons and impacts of cyberbullying. Now, I will continue to discuss on how to overcome cyberbullying. There are three important rules to overcome cyberbullying. Firstly, cyberbullying can be overcome by the roles of parents. Based on article Cyberbullying Identification, Prevention and Response, October 2014, written by Dr. Samir Hinduja and Dr. Justin W. Pechin, who are co-director of the Cyberbullying Research Center, they stated that ensure child feels safe and secure and convey unlimited support is one of the perfect ways parents can take when their child being cyberbullied. For instance, at home, parents can instill their child to perform positive moral values such as respect to others. The authors also said it is fundamental for parents to monitor their child's technology use and make sure they behave as a responsible person. Consequently, they will execute the proper attitude both in real world and in cyberspace. For example, as mentioned in the same article, parents should keep an eye on child's doing, particularly in their early exploration of internet. This is because, according statistics from Internet User Survey 2018 that conducted by Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commissions in 2018, a sample of 4,160 internet users at national level were used, and the survey found that 9 of 10 children using internet as early 5 to 17 years old, and the exploration of smartphone become widespread for online activities, where 91.8% from the children use smartphone to access internet, which this can cause harm. In conclusion, parents must give unlimited support and monitor technology use of their child to overcome cyberbullying issue. Furthermore, schools play vital roles to overcome cyberbullying and to give awareness about cyberbullying. Cyberbullying among students become more serious according to the statement given by Tan Sri Lamtai from Malaysia Crime Prevention Foundation Senior Vice Chairman. He said, based on Cybersecurity Malaysia statistic, cyberbullying among students occurs almost every day, with 338 cases reported last year compared with 291 cases in 2014. I obtained this statement from New Straits Times newspaper entitled Bullying, Can We End It, 18 June 2017, written by Audrey Vijendran, journalist at New Straits Times. From this statement, school must play their role, which as revealed by article entitled Cyberbullying, Prevention and Intervention to Protect Our Children and Youth, Volume 55, Number 2, 2011, by John Sneckerbock, Richard Van Acker from University of Illinois at Chicago, and also written by Robert A. Gable from all Dominion University who believe that a right utilization of electronic media and steps to restrain and control cyberbullying is important steps that must be introduced by school. For example, Internet Safety Program, which is iSafe, have been established as one of the curriculum-based program in American school. Similarly, what schools can do to overcome cyberbullying can be obtained as stated in an article, Cyberbullying Intervention and Prevention Strategies, written by Ted Feinberg and Nicole Robe from National Association of School Psychologists in United States, December 2009, which school must investigate occurrence of cyberbullying in the school, which included distributing survey to teachers, administrators, and parents to identify the reason and place of cyberbullying happen. Therefore, the results of survey will help to identify areas of concern effectively. To conclude, schools can introduce steps to control cyberbullying and identify the cyberbullying cases because schools are important place to connect with parents and disseminate information about cyberbullying. Next, cyberbullying can be overcome by the victims itself. Based on what I read on newspaper, joining up to fight cyberbullying from the Star, 1 April 2020, written by Lu Jiaxia, journalist from the Star Malaysia, it is stated that Superintendent R. Shelvam, the Commercial Crime Deputy Chief in the Northern State of Penang, said it will be easier to pinpoint cyberbullying cases if the victims lodge police report. Likewise, the victims also can make report to Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission's hotline at 016-220-6262. Moreover, Superintendent Shelvam also said the victims should not feel embarrassed if they are being cyberbullied because late action will lead to the victims to commit a crime. So, we can follow the wise action taken by Jasmine Hamid, one of celebrity in Malaysia. According to the Stars newspaper entitled Actress Lodge Report Against Cyberbullies, 18 March 2014, our local celebrity, Jasmine Hamid, took smart action to lodge police reports against people who insulted the appearance of her adopted daughter, Rohana, 29 years old, through the social media such as Instagram and Facebook. In conclusions, the victims must make report when realized they become the victims of cyberbullying cases immediately. So, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you to Azreen. Next, I would like to invite Veralyne again to give her conclusion about this topic.
Thank you, moderator. In nutshell, according to an article, Malaysia Youth Perception on Cyberbullying, the qualitative perspective, Malaysia Youth would relate the definitions of cyberbullying with keyboard warriors, an individual who is not able to express his or her anger via physical violence would probably overcome this by expressing his or her anger via internet, in which it's become the most common form of aggressive writing. Among the main examples of cyberbullying stated were split personality, fake identity, and uploading embarrassing pictures. The informant emphasized that taking revenge, seeking fun, and loneliness were among the main reasons why people got involved in cyberbullying. While, in the opposite, committing suicide, stress, and conflicts were among the resultant impacts. Furthermore, the informant further suggests that cyberbully victims should make a police report, log the individual who cyberbullies them, or confront them, cyberbullies, through face-to-face interactions. A quote by Ana Mera Chavez best describes cyberbullying. Unless and until our society recognizes cyberbullying for what it is, the suffering of thousands of silent victims will continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Veralyne. Finally, we have come to the end, and I would like to thank everyone for the interesting and insightful presentation. Good afternoon.